baby.
We in here, yeah, we in here, 'cause we been.
Y'all better get comfortable with saying black.
We in here, yeah, we in here, 'cause
Black versus the Board of Education.
Cause we came here, rid of us now. We in here, yeah, we in here. Cause we came here, rid of us now. And you know that we don't ever go to what you been here.
That's why we are indeed a whole mood.
That's it.
We say the system is broken, we see the disparities, we watch students fall through the cracks, and yet we still defend it. Not always loudly, not always intentionally, but in small ways. In silence, in compliance, and in that's just how it is. In protecting jobs, relationships, access, and comfort. But today's conversation is not about villains, because the truth is it's not just them. It's all of us navigating systems that don't always serve our kids the way that they should. So the question becomes, what does it cost to keep a broken system in place? And more importantly, what does it cost to challenge it? We're talking about fear, talking about survival, we're talking about complicity without shame, but not without accountability. Because at some point, we have to ask, are we protecting the system or are we protecting our place within it? Welcome to Black versus the Board of Education.
And as Melissa said, yes, welcome to Black versus the Board of Education. My name is Miss Laureen, and I am the captain of the ship. And as usual, we like for you to know who's in the building. And you've heard from our lovely Melissa, who is back. We're so happy to see you. And you guys had senior weekend at Cal this weekend, right? At Berkeley?
Yes, we did.
How did it go?
It was so much fun. 2 years ago this weekend, I was a senior who got flown out by the Bridges Multicultural Resource Center to attend senior weekend. So now 2 years later, I got to run the same high school seniors, who have been Black seniors, Black seniors who've been accepted to Berkeley. And it was really such a full circle moment to be able to run the program that made me choose going to Berkeley. So this is our merch that we made for senior weekend. Our theme was Cheetah Girls, and we had a really great time. I was really excited, connected with a lot of students. I had a really great time.
So you said your theme was Cheetah Girls. Now, I don't know nothing about nobody's Cheetah Girls. So why did you guys choose that theme?
So it was me and some of our coalition members decided that Cheetah Girls, at least for the Black Recruitment and Retention Center, would be a really good theme because the main character is Black. We don't see a lot of Black main characters. Their theme, the overall theme of the movies is about like teamwork and friendship and working together. And we thought it would be a really great theme to bring seniors together and hope they could find community within areas that are not predominantly Black.
Oh, I love it. Okay. And right next to me is
Mr. Fox. How's everybody doing?
Mr. Fox. What happened on your weekend? What did you get into this weekend? You forgot?
No, I'm such a nonstop person. I'll be all gas, no place. I'm trying to think, well, which part is...
You tabled this weekend, yeah?
Yeah, I did table.
Okay. Tell us about that. What happened?
I tabled this weekend.
Oh, fantastic. And how did it go? Okay. I've never seen you with a loss of words.
Okay.
What's happening? Okay. And right across from you is
Patrice Mama P. Hill, director, says Black mother, also somebody who is just happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you.
Thank you.
I'm not sure what's happening this weekend.
It's a lot.
But you know what? There's been a lot of things going around in the news. And before we start our discussion on whether if the system is broken, why we keep defending it, I just want to uplift a couple of things that we've seen happening in our community.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen a lot of femicide.
Yeah.
The former lieutenant governor of Virginia, killed his wife,
right.
As they had been going through a divorce and they were still in the same house. And he was supposed to vacate at the end of this month. And instead he decided to kill his wife and then himself,
right.
with the children in the home. So I just want to uplift that and, send good vibes to the children because, man, what?
Yeah.
And then yesterday, I believe, we saw another story come out of Louisiana where a father killed 8 of his children.
Mhm.
And then he was taken out by law enforcement, and he shot their mothers too.
Right.
And I'm just trying to figure out what the hell is going on within the community where we are seeing people not being able to really process emotions, process disappointment, process loss,
Right.
and choosing the ultimate as a solution. I mean,
Sad. The divorce as well. Like, the headlines I'm reading is that, she asked for a divorce. And I don't understand how Black women have such a hard time surviving their partners.
yeah,
We already have the whole system and it feels like the world against us. And in these places where we're supposed to be safe,
Yeah.
we keep losing that battle.
yeah, and it's not to and
Not all men.
No,
not
it's
all
not.
men, because
It's
there are
not all men.
there are some Black men who are protectors. I know them. I see them. I'm in
Yeah.
community with them. But unfortunately, it's where our community is not exempt
Right.
from femicide.
And we saw the sister out in Florida, Nancy Meteor Bowen. She was killed by her husband.
I seen that.
And this is all within a 2-3 week period.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
is there a full moon out that I don't know about? Like, what is happening? Where we're just seeing just this decision making to be, you know what? Your life is meaningless.
Right.
Your time is meaningless. You are meaningless. And I'm really struggling with that, to be perfectly honest. As someone who is going through a divorce, who made the decision to walk out. Those were things that were floating in my mind. I have to be honest. And not that he presents as a violent person, but I never know. As women, we never know how someone will process the disappointment, right? And I think that is a real fear. I think that is a real concern in our community, and we're seeing it play out in real time. And I just don't know.
Right.
I just don't know.
I'm right there with you, sis. I just don't know. It brings me back to the Malcolm X quote of
Black women being the most disrespected,
the most unprotected, neglected person in America, right?
Yeah.
And we are leaning, and I wonder why Black women have gotten so hard, as they call it. Like, we have had to create a barrier of protection because we are afraid, not only to exist in America, in this world, but in a lot of cases, we're afraid of our men as well.
Yeah.
And it's not something to be taken lightly. And it's not something that I even like saying. It's the reality of what we've been presented to deal with.
Yeah. And so we just want to lift those names up. Sharina Fairfax, Nancy Meteor Bowen. And there was a mother out of Chicago was killed by her son. And she had just lost her husband, who I want to say it was either an alderman or a councilman. And she was trying to continue his legacy, and her son made that decision. And so I don't know what it will take. I don't want to just say, okay, well, mental health is an issue. Yeah, it is.
It is.
But sometimes some of these folks got to get some help.
Right.
And I'm having a hard time today.
I'm right there with you,
because I'm just, I see the work that our sisters are putting in all across the country in terms of being out on the front lines, speaking up for things, fighting for the rights of our brothers who are incarcerated, fighting for the lives of our boys on the streets, fighting for the lives of our children in the schools. And yet and still, regardless of all that, coming home and having it happen in your home.
Right.
That is something that is just devastating. It's devastating to think about. It's devastating to think of the trauma that the community will feel. Like, the family will feel it.
Right.
But those who are in close contact with those people will feel it as well. And I've seen a lot of commentary on trying to make sense of what, especially the former lieutenant governor of Georgia did, the desire to make him more palatable without calling out what exactly happened and how exactly he made the decision to kill this woman. And we have to hold people accountable. I don't want to hear any more excuses for why it's happening. I want it to stop. I do.
Exactly. We in the response that we're getting from our community, it's a gender war.
Yeah.
Up and down the timeline.
Yeah.
About whose life is more valuable, and in excuses. We can't make excuses for murderers, y'all.
We can't.
We can't keep condoning violence against Black women in our community, no matter what shape, size, form, status it comes in.
Yep.
We have to call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, Black women are the creators of life. And we cannot allow violence to be rationalized against Black women, the creators of life, the maintainers of life. You know, we already have too much against us.
Yeah.
Let us live. Can we live? That's why I wrote the poem, Can I Live? Because Black women deserve to live. We deserve to be protected. We deserve
some time off.
Yeah.
We deserve a nap.
Like, come
golly.
on. You know, that's one of the lines in Jill Scott's new song, Off the Back of My Ancestors. Like, and I be going to sleep because that's a luxury.
Yeah.
You know, like that's, you know, I've been reading so much about what it means to be Black in America. Sleep was one of the things that was used as a leverage or abuse point for enslaved Black people in this country. And I think Black women kind of take on some of those characteristics about we can do it all. Let's do it all. Let's be it all. I don't need sleep. I can go off 3, 4, 5 hours of sleep. No, you can't, sis. Take a nap, sis.
Yeah.
We deserve that. And I think we feel guilty a lot of times resting.
Yeah.
It's okay to take a day and not do nothing, sis. You deserve that. And the world makes us feel like we don't deserve that. We do. You deserve to sleep 10, 12 hours some days. Because you need that. Your body needs that. So, and I know it be us too.
Yeah.
So
it does.
You know, we gotta take that for ourselves in order. Self-preservation.
Yeah. Okay. What they say on the plane?
Put the mask on yourself first.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time with that too. But you know, life is lifing and people are peopling. Mr. Fox, did you have something you want to add to that point? Because you sat up and then you sat back down. So I just didn't want to silence you because me and my sister been carrying on the conversation, Melissa. We want to add y'all's voices,
and we want to recognize that the energy in the world is heavy right now.
Yeah.
Like that, the energy is heavy. The vibe around I just feel like there's a heavy energy, and it's been here for a while, and it's just getting thicker. You know, there's a lot going on in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, and we can't keep blaming everybody else. At some point, we have to take accountability. You know, it's easy to blame, well, this didn't work out for me over here, or this person stood in the way of me over here. At some point, we are going to be accountable for our own decision making.
Listen, we have to be. Listen, we had to do liberation songs this weekend in class. Coco's song was Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror. We got to look and we got to reflect. We got to start looking in the mirror and starting with ourselves.
Yeah.
I like that song. And most times in subjects like this, I don't get in the way. This is a woman's a thing, and my thing is sometimes to support a woman. Sometimes a man knows, shut up, how dare I speak or interrupt anybody who's about to say something about this level of something or be the cause of somebody shutting down. That's another reason why I was being quiet. I don't know what your true experience has really been in life. I know what we have shared in, but it's been this much time. So how dare I think that I've even tipped the cup of even brinking up a friendship with you, of never knowing what you've actually gone through, and you yourself too, as a woman, and as well as Melissa and any other woman that's on the line. So when these conversations happen, I'm not shying away from things. I'm here in support, but sometimes this ain't nothing for me to be. I ain't never lived with no man that beat on me. And when I was in the cell, those they brought in there, I beat on them, and because the two don't mix. I'm an alpha, but I do believe as an alpha, I hear y'all struggle, but I have a different opinion of y'all struggle. I have sisters as well. Did 27 years to come back, and I'll be down if I let anything happen to one, and I got one with me. Close.
Yeah.
I got a lot of close sisters around me, but and
Yeah.
It is what it is with me, all the way down to the death of me, and that's what it's supposed to be for me. Not as a gang member, not as a gangster, not as a I'm hard like that. I'm talking about when you're talking about legacies and heresies and what has been what is in me that was in me before I was born. When you can speak on the brain, this is what's in me. And for sisters, what I personally feel, and I'm not centering myself when I say this. This is my personal feeling, but this is what I feel for all Black men. Our role in this. I spent many years in prison, reading a lot of books. But within the books I learned language. It was outdated language, but it was enough language to connect to the new language here to say, okay, this is what this means. You know what I mean? To carry myself on. But I also read a lot of our heritage. And the only people that ever uplifted any Black woman in our heritage, to me, what I've read and what is Black people. I've never seen the Asian man make a Black statue of a Black woman. He did it for a Black man. It was Michael Jackson and so on and so forth. But it wasn't y'all. And it was close with us, next to us, but just that. I didn't see other cultures, the Europeans. For a Black woman to be uplifted, a Black man must stand up right and do it for y'all, man. And I see you guys doing your struggle thing, but when you guys speak of support and I hear about how you guys been branded, I still continue to say it take a man to check another man sometimes. And how dare I say things? I'm not promoting on here. Hey, how dare I? I'm the man. I'm gonna check every man. I'm not saying that because I myself have been checked. I've been checked by a woman. I've been checked by the system. I put that system in check. I've came back and double checked that system. But I've had to humble myself for a black man. A Black man has checked me, not bitched me. Excuse my language, but checked me. You know what I'm saying? Humbly, respectfully, taught me something, and it went from a way of me being in defiance, but put me in my place. You know what I mean? Black men have to come back in style of doing that for self and for women. I see y'all, Johnny, man, and like I said, I'm in support. My part is just to continue to protect, see it, and call it out when I see it. I don't care if it's in public. I don't care if I look like the fool. I'm gonna call it out when I see it for y'all every time in public. But the same way how we preach in here, not preaching here, but actively or at BYOP say, hey, save the babies, save the babies. I am 100% in the same representation and live walk of save the sisters too, man.
Yes.
Save y'all too. And I don't know what else to say about that, but I love y'all. I love the sisters, and I'm sorry that y'all journey has been hard, but it was hard sometimes for me reading all the literature about y'all and wanting to come out here and thinking like the sisters, they got it. And I came out here and I didn't see no men holding no purses for y'all. I didn't see no men not holding the purses, like trying to holding it while you open the door. I don't see them opening the door. I don't see them putting gas in the car for y'all. I don't see them holding the groceries at the grocery store for y'all. I don't see them giving you up $20 out their paycheck for y'all. I don't see them buying you shoes for the feet that you walking them to get their job for them. But I'm seeing sisters, brothers coming home and they got this care package for them, the car. I'm seeing them having work clothes ready for them. I'm seeing them cooking food for the brother to get up in the morning and have nutrients and come home. While he was out there working, that nutrients for the stomach was for you to go out there in that sun and work and come home. But you was out there and you was drinking and came home and you didn't bring home no efforts into this household, not just a paycheck, but physical efforts. Did you bring toilet paper? Did you bring? I don't need flowers. Did you bring me? Women do have periods. I don't want to go out and get it, but if it has to happen, somebody has to do something. I'm saying that Black men, to me, have a responsibility to Black women. And although I'm not always right, I'm here to listen to my part of which I feel like I'm doing wrong, to continue to show an example in public, so my nephews and other brothers that are younger than me and the same age as me can see me doing it publicly. Because as you said, if I teach them publicly, then you won't have to go home and be scared at them behind the door.
Absolutely. And I mean, even you said so much. You said so much. Sorry, and I don't think that Black women are asking for a lot. And even if you can't do that, brother, in the public, can you smile at me? Can you acknowledge me? Right. I walk in the spaces and Black men act like you don't exist, So on the way here, real quick, because I know we got a topic, but my baby was talking about, I was like, hey, do you want to just stay in the library while I do the podcast and come back and get you? She said, I was in the library at lunch. I had a bad experience. And I'm like, what you have a bad experience with? Was some boys in there, some brown boys and a Black boy. And she was like, they was talking loud. Not, I turned around. I said, hey, it's the library. Can I get my work done? And they was like, no, nah. And she said it was a brother there. And when she started speaking up for herself, he put his head down and she felt the way. Because they was not only, she was like, it was some non-Black folks, saying the N-word and talking about this Black be this and this Black be this. And they wasn't talking to her, but it was in close proximity enough for her. But again, She is 15 in high school, and the one brother that was there made her feel unprotected. Like they don't have anybody, especially other black boys. So it's not just a black woman issue.
It's not.
This is a black girl issue. This is a
black community
issue. And it's not just here in the US. This is the diaspora. This is globally. We can go into like what black women are experiencing all over the world in terms of, femicide, being valued, being protected, being neglected. But if I can't get a brother like you in front of that brother who put his head down when my baby starts speaking up for herself because she just wanted to do her work in peace, it's a issue that not only are we as women dealing with, our girls are dealing with, our grandmothers, our aunties, or you know what I mean. It's not just. It's okay.
How about this? It's not just an issue that they dealing with.
Quiet. You can't speak your mind.
I've go. It's so hard.
It's an issue that the boys are dealing with too. Guess what? They're growing up, and every piece that you connected, the only piece I was thinking of while you was talking was, it's a moral issue.
It is
a moral issue of men. That's why I keep attaching men, because if boys are growing up, black boy, me in today's generation, I'm growing up at 13, and every music I listen to says F a B, F a B, F a B. Mm-hmm. Everywhere I go, a B is identified as specifically this color of a woman.
Yes.
And then my friends tell me this color of a woman is that. My mother's boyfriend says that this is what a B is. On video, I see this is what a B is. And then the community is also telling me this is what a B is. And then the girls, they confused themselves, not really knowing themselves. They calling themselves that in front of these same confused boys because they confused and they're confused. And now the grown man who they've been having in front of them now does whatever he does. I don't want to say whatever it is. Maybe hit him, maybe do some drugs with him, maybe what. He reconfirms what the little boy has been confused about at the age of 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13, going through these phases. And now he's 17 and he's with you, and then an argument happens.
Exactly.
And then he was great. He was cool. He was doing great. I know somebody right now very close to me. She's a girl. She's a girl. Very abusive, and it's overlooked because her grades are. I'm talking about Stella. This girl, she's a black girl too. She's a black girl and beats. She's very domestic, and she's a teen, but she's it's overshadowed because her grades are, But a lot of confusions go down. But my point is this: in history, there's not a lot of books or not a lot of examples for black boys to respect the black woman.
Yes.
So that for me, I'll be feeling like black men, myself included, and so nobody think that I'm not putting myself on a pedestal, myself included, and anybody who rolls with me, anybody that's close to me in proximity, anybody I talk to, because you can't separate that. We must be of example for black boys to be able to respect it. A black boy don't see me say, "How you doing, Queen?" Where would he ever learn the word?
Right.
If he doesn't see me do it, or Isaiah do it, or Dante do it, or whoever do it, where will he ever see it? So far, it's been put on the black woman's shoulder to say, it's your job to teach the black woman to respect him because he grew up in the house with you. But by that theory allows you to come in the household to tell your sister, to tell him, "Hey, boy, you respect your auntie," by another black woman. He still has not seen the black male in example, not just say it, but represent it. When he walks up, when he wakes up, pancakes, when stay on him. They don't have that. So the black boy, by generation, is 2-3 generations down of seeing this example. This example is being passed down right now by males, not even knowing that they how false the identity they passing down to the little boy to move from boyhood to manhood with.
You said so much, but there was so much in what you said between the lines too. If black girls are going, or women in general walking around calling themselves to be in my circle of friends, we don't say that. We say sis, we say queen. You know what I mean? Like, we uplift each other. There in language, the Native Hawaiian proverb, in language there is life, in language there is death. We have to be cognizant of how we talk to each other, but also where are young people learning value from? They're learning value from the media, from social media, from the music, from the media images that they're.
And is it really value that they're learning?
They're not, because we don't control any of that, right? The algorithm is racist. The algorithm is fueled with self-hate. The algorithm is showing them to continue to demean each other. You know, I can't
Yeah.
expect my daughter to walk into a predominantly white school anyway, where there are, you know, small populations of black folks and the young black males to uplift her. I gotta be realistic, right? But I also am worried that what they are learning is a culture of demeaning each other, of not respecting each other. But also, like, if me and sis are grown women that have went to college, we are directors of programs,
Yep.
we are known in the community. We get up and do this work every day. We have people that validate our work. We have young people that love us. We have communities that we pour into and they pour into us. If we're struggling with this at this big age and have went through all of this, what do the young people have to look forward to? And that's where I
Exactly.
get worried about who we are as a people. When are we going to hold ourselves accountable for what our young people are doing, how they value each other, how they speak to each other? If you walk down a high school hallway right now, you will hear 1,000,003 cuss words, and most of them are the B word and the N word and every other word. There is no value in the ways that we commune, that we speak to each other, that we don't even talk to each other. I remember in college, we had forums on when we see another black person on campus, you guys speak to each other.
Yep.
Where
We
is
get the head nod.
head nod?
Yeah.
Something. You know, you used to couldn't walk in a room and not speak to the elders in the room, or see a person and not speak. Listen.
Yeah.
I know.
And I want to pull Melissa in here because
Come
you're
on,
closer
Melissa.
to this generation than we are,
Melissa,
baby.
let us know.
What are you seeing how have your experiences been with your brothers and sisters on your campus? Let's just go on your campus.
Yeah.
They are positive when I know the person, and not so positive when I don't know the person. Like what you guys were just saying about, like, when you're walking around, you see another black person, you smile, you nod. I have done that and got the dirtiest looks from people. And I'm like, I didn't even inconvenience you to go up to you and start a conversation. I'm walking to class. Like, there's not a lot of black people here. And I'm just acknowledging that you exist and I exist in the same space. And even if I'm walking, I understand that some people have bad days. Completely get it. I don't take it personally because I do understand that people have bad days. But it gets to a point where if you try and smile at somebody or not, they look at you like, what do you want from me? Or like, are you trying to get something from me? Or just like I did something wrong to them. So that's one example of, like, it is sometimes hard to build community with people if you do not already previously know them and do not already have a form of community with them, because you try and be friendly and they look at you like you're the worst person in the world. I've definitely experienced that with some black people on campus. And it does not to say all of the black community is bad, because it's not, because it has been really positive. Like for senior weekend that just happened, we hosted a barbecue on Saturday, and it was for the seniors, but we asked the community to come and show the students what the black community at Berkeley looks like. And a lot of them did show up. Like we ran out of food. We budgeted food for like 200 people. We had a lot of people who came out. We had alumni who came out. We had black parents of black students who came out to just talk to the seniors and tell them about their experiences, good and bad, to give the students like a well-rounded perspective of what Berkeley can look like. And a lot of them did commit after Saturday because they really loved what the community looked like. So a lot of them will be coming to Berkeley. So I've had good and bad experiences. I've had times where people really have showed up and showed out for me and for the programs I put on and for the community when it matters. And there are sometimes on just the daily basis, surface level, sometimes they're not as supportive. So I've had good and bad experiences.
Okay. And I just wanted to acknowledge this comment in the chat. It says respect is more than just saying king and queen. It's in the behavior too. The truth of the matter. What do you see when you see me? How you see me is reflected in how you treat me. Mutually.
Yes.
And I think that is absolutely true. I think that we've gotten away from valuing life.
Yes.
We've gotten away from respecting life.
Come on.
From being able to see that person as an extension of yourself.
Yes.
And I think that is what, especially here at BYOP, that is where kind of I operate out of. When I go into a room with children, I see them as an extension of me.
Come on.
And the problem is on these campuses, the people that are in charge see them as other.
Yes.
And they treat them as such. So I believe that comment is absolutely 100% right.
Yes.
Because if we do not start to treat each other with care, compassion, and concern, care because you are a human being.
Yes.
Compassion because you are worthy of love.
Come on.
And concern because if something looks like it's not right, I have an obligation to speak up and set that in motion.
Yeah.
So I just, today is heavy for me. Not just seeing what's going on in the world, but personally, because the one person who did show me that is no longer here. He was very intentional with his time. He was very fatherly. He held the boys accountable. He made the girls feel like princesses. He stood in the way when he needed to stand in the way, and he checked people when they needed to be checked. So just shout out to Big Dub and his legacy that he's going to leave behind, especially in my life. Because he taught me things that I wish my own father had taken time to teach me.
Come on.
I wish my own father saw the need in the community to where he stood up and say, I'm going to protect my little girls as they matriculate through this system. He didn't do it, but this man, Winston Young Sr., did that for me. He taught me how to change my oil. He taught me how to change the lights, tail lights, headlights. He taught me how to check the tire pressure because he did not want me dependent on a man to do that if I got stranded on the side of the road. Now, he didn't teach me how to change a tire. I think that was a little too much for me because I'm just going to call AAA. But the point of the matter is somebody took the time to look at a little Black girl who was unprotected in this world and say, you know what? I'm going to stand in the gap for her.
Yeah.
And I respect that so much from him. And we haven't even gotten to our topic, but it's really overall, this kind of fits in.
It does.
Because we're operating in a system that is broken.
Yes.
And there are people, especially in our community, who will make excuses instead of challenging it.
Yeah.
There are people who are within the system, who have jobs within the system, who are thinking about their livelihood, even though they see the detrimental impact that system is having on the children that they are in charge of. So we have to be very, very clear. Are we saying that people should do things to put their livelihood at stake? No, but I think that people who have come from a legacy of people who stood in the gap for humanity should have some of that humanity and put themselves on the line when it comes to protecting these babies coming up behind them.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And I know that was a mouthful.
That was, but we want to say ashe for your loss, because there are people that come into our lives that have a fundamental impact on who we are as a person. And there are people that lift us up and see something in us that we don't see in ourselves.
Fact.
And they change the trajectory of our lives.
Yep.
And what you were explaining of who of what he did for you, it gave you tools, and
Absolutely.
it gave you meaning where there was lacking, right? And we going to school and we learning all this extra stuff, and I just want to shout out Dr. Mia Settles Tidwell, because she gave me a word, and it's called sawabona, and it's a Swahili Zulu word, and it means I see you, right? And I think that he's seen you.
Oh, for
he's
sure.
seen you, and we have to have that seeing in each other, right?
Yeah.
And even when we see the system, right?
Right.
And sometimes we let the system slide because we're afraid of the repercussions of what that might mean for us, what it might mean for young people, what it might mean to break through. And I just want to say that we all have a role to play in this.
Yep.
And it could be very small. You know, there's this term called micro activism or at the table activism, where you can play your role and still be a part of changing the ways that the system operates, especially when it comes to protecting our children. You might not want to be out in the open. You might not want to be a headliner like Miss Lorene or Mr. Fox, but you might be an indispensable or an organizer or a producer that plays the background and still gets things done. And that's what we have to do for the system, because I don't fundamentally believe we can overhaul this whole system. These folks have been planning, working, thinking. They have think tanks that have been around for 50, 60 years, where they have nonprofits that are worth $400 million, where they got $108 million in donations last year. They're organized. They meet.
Right.
They get rich off of the system being broken.
Correct. Because they make the problem and then they create the solution for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then they just rinse and repeat and keep doing it. And that's how they build generational wealth. While we are asking for, let me stop because it's too much. But what I will say is that we got to be more strategic, folks. We got to plan. We got to meet. We got to organize. You know, we worried about Usher and Chris Brown tickets.
I'm not.
While there is a whole thing that's happening to us.
I so much agree with you, but as I agree with you, and I mean 100%, to me, I would like to identify what that means for me when I agree with you. When you say I plan, we organize, I don't believe in the rainbow coalition. I believe in everybody should fit off into one pot. That's not a pun towards anybody's religion, race, or any sexual orientations. I'm just strictly saying, I don't believe in that. There was a reason why when we was coming out of slavery, we were speaking behind closed doors. Everybody wasn't allowed. And every slave on the plantation was not allowed in that door. You on this plantation, bro, but keep wooty whoop over there because he gonna tell master. You know what I mean? It was a way that the Black Panthers organized and they moved places
at first.
But when you say is the system broken and you say we got to organize, to me that identifies as sometimes we have to stop as a people collective as we moving forward. Stop jumping on Trojan horses.
Well, Black folks, we give up all the game.
Yeah,
like we give up all the game.
Like, oh, we should ally up with them. They're moving forward and they got some. We don't need them. We'll just wait and we'll.
Everyone has used the Black struggle and advanced their community except Black folks.
How about that?
The civil rights movement
and
has benefited
when we start to people start talking about, oh, well, where's everybody else?
It only is only for Black folks. Y'all have taken every single struggle that Black folks have maneuvered through in this country.
And sidebar, because I did see the lawsuit from the lady who is suing because she didn't get her couldn't take part of the Black maternal health group as a white Latina.
Do you know the implications of Black women in childbirth in this country?
Does she care?
I mean,
no, it's not about that. And now there's things that are put in place to where what she's doing is valid, and you cannot just to be racist, you have to have money and power. Okay. And Black people in this country don't have any of it. So we can't be racist. Okay. The back to what you were saying, Fox. Black folks give up too much game. We organize in public, so then everybody takes the blueprint and then they use it,
and we let everybody in the room
to improve their own communities. We let everybody in the room. It don't matter if you polka dot, purple, alien. You could come and be in community with Black folks because that's how internally good we are. But it works against us every time.
You know what I'm tired of hearing brothers tell me about the system as we going in here to correct the system. If the system broke, I'm tired of brothers telling me, "Hey, bro, we got to be good gatekeepers." What? Gatekeepers?
What are you gatekeeping?
Exactly. And
how is it beneficial?
And what is the gatekeeping doing? But upholding the pillars of white supremacy. But white folks don't have to come into our community and do anything. We're doing it for them. Okay.
All they got to do is send somebody a check.
That's it. Black folks can uphold the ideals and the
Respect.
tenets of white supremacy better than other white folks can. We keep it in place. We keep it in system. And whether the Willie Lynch letter is real or not, it's working and it's doing what it's supposed to do, because we don't see each other. We don't look at each other and see ourselves. And if we could just do that, things would be so much different. But we can't. We talking about brothers saying hi to us. What do you see when you look at me?
Oh, and don't be somebody they do say hi to, and they try to pop at you, and you be like,
don't say
I'm not
nothing bad.
interested.
All I'm
Then
trying
it
to
becomes a violent thing.
Yeah.
Like you're responding, well, F you then, B. Like, what? I'm just not interested.
And then that's why it goes back to the women talking about they would rather have the bear than the man in the forest because they're afraid. We're afraid.
Like,
heard
it'd be
that
funny
one.
seeing y'all, because I see brothers out when I be in public. And I see them, and when I when I see the brothers with the white girls, man, they be like, because they be like, "What's up, bro?" You know what I'm saying? But if I acknowledge their
Lady friend.
lady friend, that's not my sister or any bloodline of me or any that don't look like none of y'all. Then they're willing to say, hey, they're willing to stick their hand out and jump in front of that battle. But you're not willing to jump in front of the battle when I watch these YouTube videos and I'm seeing two girls fighting and another brother jump in soccer, and I'm not seeing the brothers do that. But when I see him, when it's one of them, I'm saying, hey, don't pull her hair, bro. And it's like all the like
The protection?
but and so when other ones watch it, again, going back to the morale, that's what they being taught to more. Stick up for them, but not them.
I'm gonna send you this video next time I see it. It's this brother going around like in targeting like interracial couples where it's a black man and a non-black woman, and he's saying, brother, you know her ancestors, what they was doing to you. Yeah, have you met her family? Like you know, and it brings me to Dr. Umar, Black Queens Forever. And y'all know the rest, but at the end of the day, at the end of the day, there is a it seems like we live in California too, y'all.
Yeah.
California is very diverse. Black men have a pick of, black men have their pick when it comes to, dating outside of black women. I haven't seen the same, I guess the quantity, the volume when I go to like down south or back east, it doesn't seem as prevalent as it is in California. But I seen a post on Facebook a couple of days ago and it said like, I don't think black men in California like black women, or they don't prefer us. And it makes me think of some of the points that you were saying. It don't matter if you like me or not, or you like black women or not. Just speak when you see us. Like,
and
don't let
everybody
the door
speaking to you don't want you.
Yeah, I'm just saying hi. Don't let the door hit me in the face when I'm walking out the store behind you. Like, that's it. Just acknowledge me. And like sis said, I don't want you. I'm just acknowledging you because you my brother.
Man,
allegedly.
But
you're my brother.
One of the things that happens when
Melissa, you jump in here at some point, Melissa.
Other people in the room, the standard changes.
Yeah.
So as the standard changes and you let other people in the room, then certain things are allowed. Versus, like, I'll use this as example in my boys group. I'll use myself and BBSN as example. My boy come in, he got a bonnet on his head. And here we're not wearing that.
Yeah,
we're not wearing that because I'm setting that as a standard for all the boys in this room.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did I get pushback on it? Oh, but it's just no. I see the ripple effect of this. I don't believe in what it is, and I don't want it to be identified as cool in this room, in this segment, in this energy that is being produced in here. Nor do I want it seen or visualized in the conversations that is happening in here. There is a promotion of something going on in here, and that is not a part of the promotion that is going on in this room. So it must be removed from the room, which means energy must be left out of here. There's a standard that's supposed to be set with manhood and with boyhood and with the black man that rolls on, and how we elevate ourselves and what we're bringing in the room to be able to lead the black woman. If a black man cannot necessarily lead himself or bring himself to be upright or correct himself or the circle around him, how is the black woman ever to fall back into faith of black man, to get to the love part of the black man, to be able to respect the black man, or whichever one of them theories of which one falls through you first? Because some say that love comes first and some say respect comes first. But
I'm about to take you up an offering because you over here preaching today.
Okay, he is preaching.
I'm just saying.
preaching, and that's why we know. That's why we know. That's why we still have. That's why we still love our brothers. That's why we still have faith in the Black community. That's why we do the work we do, because we know that it's not the entirety of the community. We know that there are still brothers like you, Fox, and I run with brothers that love Black women. So shout out to all my brothers in the community, because we see you. You know what I mean? We honor you, we value you,
and your presence is felt.
And we know that you love us, and we see it in the ways that you stand up for us, that you open a door for us, the ways that you hug us and love us and call us and text us and just make sure that we good. So we know it's not all, but we need
y'all to check them other ones.
We are reflecting on a common experience that a lot of Black women are experiencing, that are educated, that show up, that love Black children, that do this work, but also know that we not loved in every space that we walk into.
100%. Melissa, I see you come off mute and then you go back on mute and then you come off mute and then you go back on. So come off mute.
No, because the conversation is so great. And I wanted to add something that was like a part of one of my experiences. Mama P was saying, like, when you walk into a space, especially as a Black woman, Black men should speak. But it needs to be respectful speaking, because I have been transparently, I have been catcalled so many times in Berkeley, like more times than I've ever been talked to by men when I was in LA. Like it's especially bad in Berkeley, specifically like in the Bay Area, specifically in Berkeley. And I don't know what it is, but like I will be walking from class to my apartment, and I've had men pull up to me in their cars, roll their window down. You want to ride with me? No, I don't. I don't know you. Stay away from me. There was like one guy who did it more than one time, and I told him if he didn't leave me alone, I was going to call the police on him. So like it shouldn't be hard to find a middle ground and to find a balance of just like, you can say hey and be respectful, because I don't mind speaking to people and you being respectful to me, because I would appreciate community in all spaces that I walk through and walk into. But unfortunately, that's not the case. And that does go back to even the topic of our conversation. I know we didn't get to our questions, but it does go back to the topic of the conversation about like the system being broken and why we are defending it and making up excuses for people. Oh, well, maybe he meant that. No, he didn't. He was rude. He was disrespectful. I told him to stop and he didn't. So why do we keep defending the people that are representing why we say the system is broken? I feel like that's it. There's so many layers to it, but that's just like one of the experiences that I've had that goes back to even what Mama P was saying about her daughter and like being in the library and like a man turning away when she's trying to advocate for herself. Like if I was there, I would have helped her advocate for herself. Until then, they need to be quiet too. I was just around a whole bunch of seniors who, when other people were talking, they were speaking over them, and I was like, well, no, you need to stop. She's talking. You can finish your conversation when she's done. It's like there's a lack of respect for not just Black women, but for Black people in general. And sometimes it comes within our community too. And it's very heartbreaking to see, especially when it comes from within our community.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that, depending on who you know within this system, your behavior is excused.
Right.
We currently have someone occupying the White House whose behavior is continually excused. Even with what happened in Virginia with the former lieutenant governor,
Behavior
I see
excuse.
people excusing his behavior and turning this into a mental health thing. Some people are just downright evil and rude, and they don't know how to manage their emotions. And so the conversation gets lost on the actual victim of the situation and put on the perpetrator to paint them in a light that is palatable for the community instead of holding them accountable for what they actually did. And so I think that, we may have to redo the original topic, but I thought that this was important enough to bring this up because it's a reoccurring, in my opinion, a reoccurring nightmare.
Yeah, it is.
It's a nightmare. Our community is in crisis. And unless we start to get a handle on valuing life, valuing each other, seeing each other as someone or someone who needs to be protected, covered, I cannot imagine my life without Big Dub in it, right? He protected me. He covered me the way that a father should, regardless of if my biological father did it or not. He did it.
Right.
And I would love to see more men like him stand up in our communities. And I know that they're out there.
Absolutely.
They're coaches, they're teachers. There are people in our community who love kids, who love sports, but I need to see more personal development.
Right.
I need us to be teaching our young people how to interact with one another, how to see each other. And real quickly, before I pass the mic, I went to Lancaster State Prison, and I was in a room with juvenile lifers. And in one particular instance, there was a gentleman in there who spoke to the group. We were all sitting in a circle. He spoke to the group and he was like, I feel like that everybody has just forgotten about me, that nobody has come to check on me. Nobody sees me. And I remember when they let that group out, I just walked across the room and I put my hand on his chest and I said, brother, I see you. And he started crying. There's too many of us walking through life without seeing the person across from us, not seeing what they're going through, not hearing their pain, not stopping for a second to just focus on them. And that's what I need more of.
Yeah.
I need more of us to stop what we're doing and focus on the pain that people are presenting with, because a lot of times that pain will turn into rage if nobody intervenes.
Yep.
A child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth. It's true. And grown men and women do that too.
Yep.
I would just like to say this part about what y'all be saying. I always hear people say, stop walking by and not seeing me, or in that part. But I challenge that statement with an upgrade. I remember I used to be inside of this group, and this dude changed my theory of thought when he said, I'm challenging you. He said, I'm not criticizing you. I'm giving you a pull up. He was redirecting information to see what was going to work with me. So he started saying, I'm giving it a pull up so you can pull it up some more. And not seeing me, I don't challenge that. Stop knowing what you're seeing and ignoring and then not ignoring it, because you did see me when I walked in the room. I know you see me because and the other time they seen you,
and that's the comment right there in the chat.
What you're looking at.
Yeah, like more of I see you and less of what you're looking at.
Stopping and actually
Miss Tawana. Yes, exactly. And I want to lift up something Melissa said too, because when I'm speaking, from a mother's perspective, that's 40-something, and at the end of the day, but I have a Black daughter that is pretty, just like Melissa is. And when they are out in public, men look, and I know that at some point my baby will be off like Melissa and will have to walk from class to her dorm or her apartment. And there's a certain distance that y'all need to keep from these children, like it's a difference between seeing somebody and speaking
or
admiring somebody versus being harassing or perverted or doing too much. These Black girls want to live free in their skin and be who they are and travel freely without the fear of harassment. Just speaking on women in general, there is a innate fear of men. When I was talking about the women and the man and the bear, is this like theme on social media about women would rather meet a bear in a forest than a man because they have less fear in the bear than the man. And I also was reading this other piece about like this online thing where it's like men are talking about how easy it is to assault women. And so I understand what you're saying, Melissa, and there has to be more protection for young girls around just being a girl and being free and being able to travel freely and not have somebody roll up on you. Hi, bye, go on about your business. And,
Right.
And I don't feel like they always get that.
Well, I don't think so, because I can specifically remember when I was working on a radio station, local radio station, and someone slipped something in my drink. And I told the gentleman that I was with, hey, I'm not feeling, something isn't right. I'm seeing all these colors, like, and they're like, oh no, you're just tired. No, I'm not tired. I'm seeing red, blue, and green. And I think I'm just going to go. And the person who slipped it in my drink was like, oh, it'll wear off in a couple of hours. And I became enraged. I remember that. I remembered the feeling of being enraged. And he was like, well, I can take you home. The hell you can. I'm going to drive myself.
Right.
And I remember driving home and walking in the door and just collapsing on the floor. And again, when I went back and I told them, hey, this is what happened. They're like, no, that didn't happen. Oh, you were just tired. Maybe, you have to, take it easy. I know you're still in college and you have this other job. And it was all these excuses instead of believing me when I said what I said.
Right.
I don't drink to this day because somebody slipped something. And I wasn't even drinking that day. I asked for a Sprite and they put it in my Sprite. And so I think that there is a certain population of men out there that think they are entitled to have what it is that they want.
Exactly.
And I remember because that person ended up calling me and he was like, I'm like, C-list actor. I don't know. And I was like, if I wanted to sleep with you, I would have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that, not to be vulgar or whatever, but you don't have to drug me.
Right.
If I'm interested,
freedom
I'm
of
interested.
Choice. Right.
But if I'm not interested, how dare you?
You're trying to take away my freedom of choice.
And I think about, okay, if you did this to me, how many other
people have you done it to? How many women have you done it to?
Right.
Or people.
And so I think that it's even more dangerous today.
Absolutely.
With our girls and this entitlement that these men have. I just think it's really detrimental and dangerous, and we have to protect our girls, and it looks like we have to protect our women.
Yes.
And so I don't want to say we can't protect ourselves, because there's some of my sisters out there that be packing, right?
And can protect themselves.
But I think we want to take some time off and let the men handle what men are supposed to handle.
Please.
I don't know. Am I talking out of turn?
No,
Mr. Fox?
I don't think so.
You said that I just had a rush of there's so many different ways the subjects can go, but I just had a rush of how many different cultures are coming over here, of the different type of also men from those different cultures are coming over here, and how those cultures treat their women over there, and now they're over here in public treating their women like this in this culture, as well as this epidemic is going on for you already.
And just to highlight something that Ms. Tawana said in the chat, that's exactly what I was talking about. And they're saying that it's like 68 million men that visited that site in 1 month.
What site?
It's called I don't know if you could say the word online, but it rhymes with grape. It's an academy, and it's men sharing stories about what they have done, how they've done it, techniques they've used.
I never even heard of that.
How other men can do it.
Graphic nature conversation,
sharing stories, so what value on women is there in a society that can have something like that is active, alive, that you can visit right now and has had that many visitors in 1 month?
And like Ms. Tawana said in the chat too, we have so much healing to do.
Yes, we do.
And we can't do it until we look in the mirror and see and actually acknowledge what the problem is. We can't fix a problem if we're not willing to acknowledge the problem.
Say it. And it's a problem.
There is a definite problem
in our community.
Yeah.
About this.
Yeah. And until we figure that out, I'm just not sure how we can put a fix into place. And this is the same thing that I tell the school districts. You have to acknowledge the problem first before we can propose solutions.
Yep.
We have to acknowledge there's this thing called racism. There's this thing about implicit bias. They say implicit at this point. I believe it's explicit.
It's explicit.
You know what I mean? And so until we acknowledge exactly what's going on, we put, like you said, call a spade, we can't put anything into place to correct it.
Right.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, I just want to Oh gosh, shout out our sisters who are fighting, the
Yes.
ones who've lost their lives,
Mhm.
the people that have made impact on our lives, and we know we should be doing something, whether we figure out how to connect or whatever. We have to start having these conversations um, openly.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
if you're not black and you still here, welcome, but we're not talking to you. This is something internally that we have to do,
Yes.
and we can't wait for Superman to fix it. We have to take that responsibility on ourselves. You don't know how many times I've gotten on these chat lines, on these stories, and then I see these and it pisses me off. I'm gonna tell you real quickly. I keep seeing this comment from white folks, the usual suspects. Anytime it has to do with murder, anytime it has to do with brutality, they put under the caption the usual suspects. And I'm really getting tired of it, because again, that community needs to look in its own mirror.
Please look in the mirror.
But while we focusing
y'all
on
have
our
the
community,
highest
we gonna stay
of
in our
everything.
mirror. Y'all stay in your mirror, and
Please.
stay off our posts.
Right.
If you have nothing positive to contribute, because again, we're not talking to you. We talking to each other
Right.
about what we need to do to fix
And
the
please
things
go look
that
at
are
y'all
happening.
data about around everything.
Melissa, I'm gonna give you 30 seconds. Any wrap up thoughts you want to share?
Just respect the people that you are around and treat people how you want to be treated. I don't know why we forgot what we learned in kindergarten and first grade, but treat people how you want to be treated, and I think the world would be a lot better than it is.
Yeah. Mama P.
I just want to echo Melissa, and there was a comment in the chat I meant to highlight it. It was saying that is smart talking
she's
about
smart.
Melissa.
Look at
Yeah,
smart
she
and
is.
beautiful.
Okay, come on.
Look at my
now.
baby. Hey,
just all of that. Just
Miss
Black
Tawana,
Girl
look at our
Magic
baby.
through and through and through. And Miss Tawana, thank you for sharing your baby with us, because I love her so much. But I would say, listen, Black community, look in the mirror. We got a lot of work to do. None of us are perfect, but it's gonna take us. We are the ones that we have been waiting for, and it's gonna take us to save ourselves.
That part. You have something coming up.
I do.
Tell me about it.
The Says Summit College Day. It is a culturally relevant college experience for young people in the Sacramento region. We host, upwards of 300 young people at UC Davis for the day. They experience a keynote speaker, but this year we're going to do the BVOE podcast
Black
live
versus the Board of Education
live
podcast
at
live.
the Says Summit. Oh man, ain't that UC Davis? It's gonna be some fun stuff happening. Then the young people go to lunch and have an MC battle,
we
dance
got some
battle.
giveaways. I'm gonna bring some BVBOE shirts.
Yes, please.
Okay,
we'll have raffles all through it, and then they'll go to workshops.
Okay.
And then they'll conclude with a little performance.
Can parents sign their kids up?
Parents can sign their kids up. Go to says.ucdavis.edu, or you can reach out directly to me at Pat Hill, PATHILL at ucdavis.edu. Bring the young people.
I love it. Melissa, you coming?
I will. Miss Coco already reached out to me and asked me if I would come, so I'll be there.
Melissa is going to be a highlight.
I hadn't heard yet, so I'm just like, Melissa, I was waiting too. I was waiting too.
Yes.
Is it confirmed?
Yes, I was sick. I was sick when she reached out to me, and I had to check for all my finals and everything like that.
Yeah,
but I'm feeling so much better, and I checked with finals, and I don't have anything planned that day, so I will definitely be there.
Yeah.
Okay, so Melissa gonna be at my house, and we gonna show up together.
Yes. Yes.
All right. I'm trying to think. Oh, I know we have Celebration Weekend coming up. If you have young people who are either promoting or graduating, or you're a college grad, a graduate student, please sign up for Celebration Weekend. That is going to happen actually the weekend of Juneteenth and Father's Day.
Wow.
So that is June 19th through the 21st. And we are going to turn the spotlight on fathers, because Big Dub was so special to me. I am going to pull my money together, and I'm going to give a special recognition to an awesome community dad.
Come on.
So if you have a community dad who's just out here doing his thing, please tell us about him, and you could win something spectacular.
Yes.
Yes. So with that, Yep. So with that, look at Isaiah said, let me get my daddy up in there.
I'm sorry, my dad.
So with that, we're going to hit y'all with the peace sign. We will see y'all next week, where author Angel Boone, she has a series for preschoolers that she wrote. And she has a workbook that's accompanying this and getting our babies ready to be successful in preschool.
Come on now.
So Angel Boone will be with us next week, and we look forward to hosting her right here on Black versus Board of Education. So we're gonna hit y'all with the peace sign. We'll see you next week. Peace.